Good morning, everyone. If you're watching this, I am Tyler Mitchell. I am the editorial assistant with Solana Bookshelf located in Flagstaff. And today I am doing an interview with our newest children's author's book, Daniel Vandever. So, Daniel, if you could introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Okay. Ja, Shikedo Shidane. Daniel Vandever Yanishia. Irish is Schley, Kiani Bush is Chin, Irish Dashachado, Tachini Dashanella. Zodzit, de Nashado, Zitlachi, de Deshahuan, Akot Ego de Nanshle. Hello, my name is Daniel Vandever. I'm from Haystack, New Mexico. I'm currently here at Navajo Technical University in Crown Point, New Mexico, where I work as a communications director. But I'm really excited to get this book started.
Great to know about you. For everyone at home, this is the book, Fall in Line Holden. It looks great. We received these, I believe, 2 weeks ago, and when they came in, we were all excited here, as I'm sure you were. Is there a way that you would like to describe the plot and personally?
Yeah, I just think it's just an innocent story about a kid's wild imagination and his journey from class to recess. And I think I wrote it with kind of a militant tone. I wrote it in kids' rhyme, and you see them kind of marching through school, but what they miss, because they're following these strict rules of their boarding school, you have to be in single file line. Going to research, they miss the beauty of what that journey is. It's just a nice, fun, I think, a story that promotes creativity and free thinking for the characters, for kids who read it. And at the same time, it does have that boarding school undertone where it does carry a lot of those themes.
Yeah.
That's Holden. That's what it's about.
I wanted to talk about kind of your inspirations behind the book itself and how your own aspirations kind of translate into it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's something that it started as something I wanted to do for my nephew.
Yeah.
At the time, he was 2 years old, and I had a design background, and I always wanted to tell a story. And for me, he kind of reminded me of myself when he was a little bit creative. He always, I thought, saw the world a little bit differently, which was really humorous to me. I was always his babysitter and looking after him. But I could relate to that, growing up and kind of being a shy kid. I wasn't always putting myself out there, but I saw things differently, and I think it really contributed to who I am today. So I wanted to do something for him, and it's kind of a funny story. I just wanted to give it as a gift to him. I was working a really bad job right out of college just because it was in 2009, right when the housing market hit, and I was working in a call center. I was wearing a headset, kind of how you are right now.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there, and I started doing sketches and doodles, and that's when I first started putting the book together, wanting to do something for my nephew. And from there, it kind of took off. I see a real correlation with the story that I had in place for my nephew with my father, and his story with boarding school. So I think it was a culmination of me wanting to do a story for my nephew, but then also telling my dad's story and what he went through during the boarding school era of education. And I think you'll see a lot of parallels with, it being a militant type of theme of these kids fall in single line when going to recess. But that's how boarding school was too, having to dictate what you learned, how you express yourself. And I think it's been done a big number on identity and what it means to be Navajo today. It kind of developed out of that. I think Holden's really a culmination of Holden, my nephew, my dad, and then myself, So I had the same experience, in second grade. I got in trouble for doing karate kicks in the hallway. So
one thing I definitely wanted to know about is your education. So where you grew up, what kind of schooling you did from maybe kindergarten to high school and kind of branch off into college.
Okay. Well, I grew up in Haystack, New Mexico is where I'm from. So my grandfather resides, where my entire family is from. I think if I were to talk about my education, it starts before kindergarten, actually. Interactions with grandparents. My parents, they always stressed that type of education. But also my mom was an educator herself, so she had actually started her own daycare. She had started the special education program out of Rema. So education was always instilled within my family. I guess I went to school out here up until first grade. My mom actually moved us out to Missouri, where she's from. So I actually went to school, elementary school, middle school, high school, in a town called Florissant, Missouri. So it was a nice experience growing up out in Missouri because they were really fascinated with who I was and what my background was. I think my education was really nice. I tried to take as many AP courses, a lot of advanced courses once I got to high school to help prepare me for college. I think I did pretty well. I always tried to keep my nose in the books, just from that early childhood experience. And that kind of springboarded me into college.
Yeah.
I went to the University of Missouri, Columbia, their School of Journalism, which was one of the top premier programs, is one of the top premier programs in the nation. And it really stuck with me. But I think where it really kind of resonated was when I moved back and, got to return home. I think that was an education in itself, being reintroduced to the culture, the language, everything else. And I ended up enrolling in a master's program at UNM. I was in their School of Architecture and Planning. So I got a master's degree in community and regional planning. I think having that passion, having that mindset of this is what I want to do with this education really helped with how I went about education. And I think it was a more meaningful experience to me. But, from pre-K to my college experience, I think education was something that was always instilled with me. And
it offers a multicultural look into children's books and children's mind and promoting multicultural identity.
In 2005, there was a study that was done on evaluated, what cultures are represented in a children's book. And in 2005, I saw the demographic, and for Native American people of indigenous backgrounds, less than 1% were out there representing who we are, And so that I think that absence from media, it does something to children. It doesn't provide them a look into, all right, this story could be me, I could relate to this character. I could really relate to what they're going through. And if you don't have that, if you don't have that reflection, you see other people, and it takes away from your identity and who you are. So I think it's something that's really important, is to get that in at an early age.
Yeah.
So kids see themselves, during those crucial developmental years. And
let's get a history of kind of the classroom readings that you've done before and how that's really motivated you.
Yeah. Well, here at NTU, we have a childcare on site. So when I first started writing this book, I wanted to share it,
Yeah.
And, share it with the kids. We had a literacy week here on campus, and so I actually went in and did a reading of the book, but then also did, more interactive stuff. I brought my guitar and sang some songs with them and things like that. But, across the spectrum, I think I have the ability to do any type of presentation. As long as I get out there and I could, develop these types of conversations, I think Fall in Line Holden is doing what its purpose is to educate and develop a dialogue on what it meant to go through this era of education, but then also where do we go from here?
Yeah.
So anything along those lines, I try to be a part of any type of boarding school or any type of educational institution on the Navajo Nation or the surrounding region. I want to visit and get this story out there and provide readings or just interact with the kids or whoever, just to let them know that, maybe I'm a source of inspiration. So maybe one day they'll tell their own story, Yeah, I think as long as I could share my knowledge and what I've been through at any of these conferences, at any of these readings, that's what I want to do, because I feel like I've been privileged to a point where I've been able to go out and experience certain things, or I've been able to learn how to design. I want to share that too, because not everybody has that opportunity. And
one thing I definitely wanted to talk about was why you picked Salina Bookshelf, why you picked our publishing company, and kind of the methods that went into that and what other people can learn from that method.
Mm-hmm. I think I chose it just because of the work that you previously did. Over here at NTU, the Dene language program, they use Evangeline Lilly Parsons' Rediscovering the Navajo Language book.
Yeah.
And so I always knew I wanted to go to someone who had that cultural awareness.
Yeah.
That ability to, if I wanted to make this an educational tool to bringing up conversations again about boarding school, Salina would know what to do, and they have a long history of being able to produce books that are authentic to the people who create them. And I think that's something that really attracted me to going with them. I think an added incentive was that I knew Corey, so I knew him, and I just kind of passed it along to him just to get his professional expertise. And luckily for me, he kind of passed it along prematurely, but it gave me the information I needed to do to tailor that book so it's publication ready. So it's kind of a nice, fortunate occurrence where I knew somebody and it just happened to work out. The timing was right.
Yeah.
But doing research on who Salina is and what they stand for, I couldn't imagine this book being published by anybody else.
All right. So thank you, Daniel, for your interview. It's great to learn a bit more about you. We will be selling the Fall in Line Holden books online. You can come into our offices in Flagstaff, Arizona. Information will be somewhere around the video. We'll post it. And thank you, Daniel. Have a great day. We hope everyone watching enjoyed this, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And get on the Facebook page. I have my own page. So
yes, exactly. Exactly. Go and follow Daniel on our Facebook page. He has an author page with Salina Bookshelf. So please go follow him. He posts great things. You can learn more about him, about what he's doing, and keep updated with him and the book. So thank you, Daniel.
And if you just want to invite me, I'll be there.
Yeah, of course. We invite you to come in anytime you want. We invite anyone else to come in anytime they want and take a look around our offices, get a look at the books we sell, get in and buy your copy of Fall in Line Holden. Great book.
Okay, cool.
All right, thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Mm-hmm.